Hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Anyakora, and today I'm going to be talking about something that's very dear to me, as well as something that I feel like we all should be more aware of, because due to it being something that we all deal with on a day-to-day basis. If we take a look at the IE, there has been a lot of drastic changes, especially in our infrastructure and our businesses. There aren't as many local businesses anymore. There are a lot more big corporate businesses as well as a lot more warehouses. And due to all of this, there is a lot more traffic in the IE, there's a lot more pollution, and there's a lot more environmental issues that we might not be privy to. Me, myself, I've worked in warehouses when I was freshly out of high school, and it took me a while to find some other work due to me not having certain work skills, due to me only working in the warehouses. I've had to deal with the effects of working in these warehouses where I've been short of breath due to the physical labor, as well as it not being a properly ventilated area and it being highly dusty and just the low air quality. So I know the firsthand the effects of working in warehouses, as well as like being in an area where warehouses have basically taken over, where I can't even drive down my own street without running into a pothole or being stuck in traffic behind a trailer. So today we'll be examining the respiratory effects of warehouse hubs, the connection between local industry and rising health concerns, as well as the environmental issues that come with all of it. Starting off with the physical effects, being born, I was born with asthma, and a lot of my formative years were spent in hospitals due to me having asthma attacks and pneumonia attacks around the winter time, around the temperature changes. It was a very scary time for me because I wasn't aware of what was happening. All I knew was that it was hard for me to breathe, and I didn't know what was happening and or if I was going to be able to continue breathing. Research from 2024 shows that residents living near warehouses are exposed to 20% more nitrous oxide. And this is a huge trigger for those with asthma, since it is the asthma trigger for asthma attacks. It has also been linked to a reduced lung function in youth. So this makes very perfect sense as to why me, as a youth growing up in the Inland Empire, was subject to these health defects. And this might have been my past, and it is the future for a lot of our youth, but it is definitely our present. A case-wide California study by Dr. John Balmes found that long-term exposure to particle pollution led to a 51% higher risk of death from COVID. And according to a Public Health Institute's tracking report, 4,250,000 deaths could have been prevented if the air quality was better than it was. After looking at the physical toll on our bodies and our vulnerability to disease, we should now take a look at the price of progress and how our city's wallets have been funded and how that money isn't coming back into our hands. A single mega warehouse can generate 500,000 trips a year. And if you take a look at this and you think about this, it is great for us getting our packages, for people getting the things that they need, for companies transporting the goods that people need. But that also means that these trucks are taking a toll on our roads. I firsthand can tell you that driving on the 91 freeway or the 215 freeway or any of the freeways right here in Moreno Valley, from 8 to any time between 1 to 2 in the afternoon, there's traffic. And not only is there traffic, the roads are not great. There's a bunch of potholes everywhere. And these things come directly due to trailer actions and reactions. Now get this. The cost to repair our streets and our infrastructure is exceeded. It does not exceed the amount of money generated from these warehouses. This means that even though people are saying that they're making us money, we're making money from these warehouses, they're generating us wealth, the money that we are making from them goes directly back into fixing our streets and then some. So we have to pay more taxes, we have to pay more from our houses, we have to pay more from our wallets, just to make sure that the things that we already had beforehand are already still there for the people who come after us. And beyond these immediate health and money concerns, there's a larger, more drastic and permanent change happening to our land. We should talk about the change to our environment. Warehouses create urban heat islands, and according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, these urban heat islands make our neighborhoods 1 to 7 degrees hotter. This means that, yes, it has been getting hotter during the summers. Our winters have been getting hotter. We no longer have the same weather that we used to have because things have been getting generally more and more hotter every year. This has also led, and these impervious surfaces has also led to the prevention of rain from soaking into the ground, which has led to a lot more flooding, and this flooding has led to toxic runoff into our streams and our ground. On a global scale, logistic and warehouse operations now account for over 10% of all global emissions for carbon dioxide. The conversion of green spaces into concrete hubs reduces their environmental ability to naturally funnel out these pollutants. Now, this brings me back to the question at hand. What are we sacrificing for the sake of convenience and a quick, fast check? As I wrap up, remember how clear it is that warehouses are more than just storage spaces. They are an active participant in our health and our environment. We must balance our economic reliance on logistics and warehouses with the urgent need to protect our air quality and environmental future. Respiratory risks, the environmental and economic reality of industry, and the impact of these concrete giants should not go unnoticed. Our economy needs to be more, but not at the expense of its citizens, especially not at the expense of its youth. We deserve the right to breathe without the fear of not being able to take another breath. The next time you see a now hiring sign on a warehouse or a listing on Indeed, the next time you're stuck behind traffic or you run over a pothole and now you have to call off work for the day, or the next time you have to make a doctor's visit because your child needs a refill on his albuterol or you're not able to breathe yourself. Think about and remember the environmental, the health, and the economical factors that warehouses take into our environment. Thank you for your time.